Hey, get ready to dive into some seriously juicy intel. And by juicy, I mean the top 3 things that really make a woman want to sleep with you. So buckle up. Now before I spill the beans on this insider info, I need you to make me a solid promise. Since I'm hooking you up with this kind of intel and bringing you up to speed, I need you to swear you won't use it for any shady business. This is strictly for the good stuff, only on women you genuinely vibe with. Got it? If you're on board, drop a comment saying I'll use it for good. Now these 3 attraction triggers I'm about to lay out, they're not just some textbook mumbo-jumbo. I'm giving you the lowdown based on my own real-life experiences. No, I'm not a science geek or some evolutionary psychology buff. I'm just a regular guy sharing what I've picked up over the years. So here's the deal, guys. The very first sign that a woman might be thinking about getting cozy with a dude, look out for the need for validation. Let me break it down for you. Women often lean towards hopping into bed or even just wanting to win. It somehow boosts their status, makes them feel like they're winning. And let's talk real for a sec. Check out what's going on in the world of social media and the internet. What do we find guys hooked on? Yeah, you guessed it, those not so wholesome sites. Now flip the script. What are the ladies usually all about? Social media, taking pics, snapping selfies, soaking up that attention, likes and validation. The girl you're eyeing? She's no fool, she knows you're interested. The key is making it a win-win. It's about her feeling validated, like she's getting something out of it too. That's why I'm putting this as the number 1 point. Now listen up. The last thing a girl wants is to feel like she's a pushover or that you're some low-value dude. Big mistake a lot of guys make is missing the fact that when a woman decides to get cozy with you, it's often just about needing that validation. You know, the same way girls crave attention and all that jazz. Let me hit you with a real story from my early 20s. I was seeing this girl and honestly, I didn't feel the vibe, no real connection. So I had to be straight up with her. I told her it wasn't working and we should call it quits. Now check this out. The moment I said, I don't want you, it's like I flipped a switch in her head. Suddenly, she's practically begging me to jump into bed with her, almost on the verge of tears, trying to strip down right then and there. I saw this with my own eyes. Why? Because when that validation or approval is yanked away and the attention starts to fade, they typically want you even more. So keep this in mind when you're in the game. Look, ladies want a solid reason to get cozy with a guy. It could be for a bunch of stuff, your status, what you do for a living. Maybe you're rocking a killer physique or you're just well known with a reputation for X, Y, or Z. Doesn't matter. The key is to always present your value in any interaction or date as a win for her. If it doesn't feel like a mutual benefit, a win for her, chances are it's not going anywhere. That's the first and major reason, the top attraction trigger, the driving force behind why a woman might want to hit the sheets with you. Now let's roll into point number 2. Now let's dive into point number 2. Competition anxiety. I'm going to break this down for you, better than anyone else on the whole internet. When it comes to this anxiety, a woman's biggest fear is you falling for someone else, not just the physical intimacy or you getting cozy with another girl. It's the genuine fear of you falling in love with someone else. Let me lay it out with an example. Now I'm not some biology geek, not a nerd in that department. But here's the deal. In terms of evolutionary biology, the risk for women is pretty clear. If pregnancy happens, she's stuck carrying that man's child for almost a year. What she absolutely doesn't want, on a biological level, is to lose access to resources, support, and care for that child. This is crucial to grasp. So here's the bottom line. If you're a guy of value, if you've got something going for yourself, if you're a status-worthy dude, the last thing she wants is for you to fall in love with someone other than her. Keep this in mind, especially if you're the kind of guy she'd feel validated sleeping with. So here's the deal. If women notice that other women are already checking you out, that's the big game changer. It's the major driving force for them to want to get cozy with you. And here's why. They're trying to snag you, lock you down, and get you emotionally invested. I'm not just talking about the chemistry or the physical side. We're diving deep into the human connection level. They want you to genuinely like them. Now, if you can grasp how to work that competition anxiety angle, here's the kicker. You might just find yourself with more options in the long run. It's all about playing the game smart. Now let's get into the third point, and I'm even gonna throw in a bonus nugget for you. So the third big thing that really drives a woman to want to hit the hay with a guy? Brace yourself, she wants kids. I know, shocking, right? But let's break it down. Sleeping with a guy can lead to pregnancy, and here's the real deal. A woman's biological clock is always ticking. As I got older, I noticed it more, especially when dating women in their mid to late 20s. They're often talking about kids or wanting them. Why? Because their bodies are telling them it's time to procreate. Now here's a nugget of wisdom for you. This is why I've always advised guys to amp up those alpha traits, dominance factors. How you talk, your tone, the strength in your presence, your physique from hitting the gym. It all matters. These are direct cues for intimacy, maybe even her wanting to get cozy with you. But here's the kicker. The other side of the coin is the provisioning, making sure you're the kind of guy who can provide. It's a two-way street. Now you're gonna stumble upon a bunch of YouTube channels, especially those red pill ones, claiming that having provisioning characteristics automatically tags you as some beta male provider. Let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Here's the scoop. When you've got both sides of the coin, it's a game changer. Not only do certain cues crank up the attraction, but you also have cues that make a woman want to stick with you, especially if she's looking to lock you down. That's the twist to her hypergamy, and it means you can keep women around for much longer. Let me break it down with an example. Back in my early 20s, I had this buddy with a killer physique, total pretty boy. But here's the kicker, he was broke. Sure, he had abs and it made it easy for him to score with women. However, I noticed something about his girlfriend. There wasn't that vision in her head that it could go anywhere. It was just fun for both of them. As I got older, I realized women start looking beyond the surface. They want a guy with everything sorted out on the back end. Job opportunities, career, life setup. Those things are equally important for a woman to invest in you. So here's the takeaway, have both sides covered. That way you can keep the women you're with around for the long haul. These are the major cues you should be checking out. And if you want to take it up a notch, remember this golden bonus point. There has to be some primal level of desire or attraction in the mix. That's the real deal. Now let's break it down in a way that hits close to home. When you're questioning if you're doing the right things as a man, here's the real litmus test. Ask yourself, if we didn't have all the modern comforts, no fancy survival gear, no tech, just primal instincts, what would be my deal for survival as a man? Think about it. It would probably boil down to basics like finding food, securing shelter, hunting, and provisioning. Those primal instincts, the bear traits, are what initially led to our survival. It's about getting back to the basics that would keep us alive if we stripped away all the modern fluff. So let's hit bonus point number 4 straight on. The real deal? You've got to be in a constant state of building. There's nothing more appealing to a woman in the long haul than a guy who's always building something. I don't care if it's your business, your physique at the gym, or honing your skills on the jiu-jitsu mat. Whatever it is, the key is that you have to be building. Once you've got a handle on those 3 attraction triggers, plus you understand the power in building, what it does on an evolutionary level, you're gonna blow past everyone who's not taking this kind of stuff seriously. It's all about the continuous growth and development. So guys, hope you're vibing with this video. Smash that like button, drop a comment, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.